brings damage to the world economy. They're shooting themselves in the foot and in the feet of those who have to obey their dictates. And by doing so, they also increase negative trends, hampering their own progress. This is what international experts are writing about, including those from the United States. By pursuing such an economic policy, they strengthen the downward trend of their economic development, again shooting their own foot. Well, that is their choice.
It's all about building on the mechanisms to achieve a fully functional multipolar world here. So discussions really are centering around that and how to improve transport and logistics in greater Eurasia, monetary and also financial mechanisms, how to settle in new forms of settlements in mutual trade and how to build and expand on that. Now, thousands are taking part in this two-day forum, which brings together government agencies, organized international organizations, media from over 50 countries, and they will be discussing just that, how to achieve multipolarity. We've already heard from the heads of most member states and even from China. Now, all this on the backdrop now as Russia's prime minister is currently in Beijing, where, as we know, he signed a number of agreements and has said that bilateral ties between Russia and China are now at an unprecedented high. And this is a sentiment echoed here as well via a video message that was sent by the Chinese president, where he solidified his commitment and the partnership between China and the Eurasian Economic Union. Let's take a listen.
Under the framework of the state visit to Russia in March, President Putin and I sealed new agreements on connecting the Belt and Road Initiative with the Eurasian Economic Union. The Chinese side is sincerely interested in the deepening and specializing of this field. We are ready to join efforts and strengthen interaction in the interests of new prospects for cooperation on the Eurasian continent.
This will entirely transform the international economic playing field. And Vladimir Putin did stress that there is a need, and we're seeing that from various partners, and that in fact the majority of players in the global arena agree with Russia that there is a need for a more fair, more balanced architecture of economic relations. Let's take a listen.
There are fundamental changes in the international financial system, and Russia is able to adapt, but also to become one of the leaders of this process. We are aiming to reduce the share of unfriendly states' currencies in mutual payments even more. We tend to work more actively with Eurasian Union partners to reach a complete transition to national currencies. This also takes place in other rapidly emerging economies around the globe, including China, India, Latin America. And it is important to coordinate joint efforts to establish a new, decentralized global financial system. This decentralization depends on the resilience of all global finances. The more decentralized it is, the more advantageous it will be for the global economy, because it will rely less on crises in the countries which benefit from a global reserve currency. It will make the economy more depoliticized.
So while the West is focused on trying to curtail cooperation with Russia and trying to convince other countries from not doing business with Russia, it's not going to plan. And Russia is in fact building on existing partnerships and developing new ones successfully.